And hello, everyone, and welcome back to the All Elite Ensemble review. This is your weekly AEW post show here at BC Wrestle Pod. And of course, the dynamic duo is back once again. My name is Mikey El Jefe of BC Wrestle Pod, and joining me as always is my good and lovely co-host Bear Dito. So, Mr. Bear Dito, Senor Bear Dito, I'm happy to have you here for another one.
Greetings and salutations, uh, people of the wrestling world and internet. What? I got all tongue tied. Anyways, let's rock and roll.
We got a lot of stuff to talk about. So we got an action-packed Dynamite and Collision to discuss, and then we are going to preview Grand Slam Mexico, which is happening tomorrow night at Arena Mexico. So that's going to be a whole lot of fun. So you already know the drill, where you can see us go live at BC WrestlePod for our socials. We have merch store, and we have a little coffee bot that helps us pay for all the wrestling things that we do. Alrighty, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into all of this. So, of course, as always, we're going to start with AEW Dynamite. And our opening segment can be divided up into two parts. Act one, Pac was ready to jump Will Ospreay, and it was kind of great. So Will and Death Riders, like, we have officially split. They ops now.
Yeah, I love this like little Clockwork Orange type intro here. Like you see him like down the tunnel, and like they walk up, and uh, Danny starts getting in Will's face, and Danny just gets dropped. you know, I love
Danny
it.
ever tried to be the peacemaker? He's like, yo, he's our boy still, though. It's like, bam. It's like, nope.
Oh man, what a great like a great way to start the show, and it's gonna get even better by the end.
Right. So, of course, it's officially done. Will and the Death Riders are no more, so they have split. This is totally going to not. This totally won't come and bite Will in the butt later on. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. you know it's going to. So, but that's for the future us to handle. But there was something else, because this was Act One of our opening segment, and then Act Two, I was not expecting to see Hangman. I was like, yo.
I don't think anybody was. We were like, we were all like, whoa, like, and he's got short hair. Yay! We got we got short hair Hangman back.
Like, he cut that hair. I was just like, oh, well, okay.
And I
But
love this little exchange that they had where, uh,
mhm.
Hanger's just like, I got your back if you want it. And Will's like, you know what? I've been too trusting. so I'm just gonna go in about my own for a little while.
Well, yeah, because Will mentions it to Hangman here. It's just like, you and Kenny are friends. You're friends with the Elite, and I can't trust them. So unfortunately, I can't trust you. I'm gonna handle this on my own. So
Mm,
Hangman's gonna be busy for something. It seems he's gonna be busy and doing something else for a little bit. So, which is nice.
absolutely. Always great to see Hanger, man.
For
He's
reals.
the main
Uh,
character, So even
For
though
reals.
it's Will's story right now, Hangman will always be the main character.
100%. So Will has his work cut out for him, because, like we talked about last week, Will has to keep his head on a swivel, because he's got lots of enemies in and out of AEW that are all tangentially related. But we'll talk more about Will when we get to our, what ended Dynamite, because right now, Tony Khan's just like, hey, we're just gonna casually drop this. You like, this match is just gonna happen. I'm like, I was like, this match ruled. I was like, yes.
Yeah, talk about failing up the ladder, huh? Jack Perry, Nick Wayne, like lost that match a couple days ago, and then like they get this match here, but like this was fantastic. Like, that's not to take anything away from him. I was just joking around. Because Andrade like pretty much handedly beat 2 people. So like they're building him pretty strong for hopefully MJF. Hopefully MJF is on his way back. Which will probably end up being tomorrow because MJF loves to start shit in Mexico.
That's
Like,
that's how it was last year. That led to him and Mystico at
mm,
Aniversario. So that's a lot of fun. But yeah, Tony Khan's just like, hey, Andrade, you're gonna defend this title. We're just gonna casually drop a banger of a match to open up Dynamite this week. And I'm like, I'm not complaining, Tony, but dang. But yeah, this match ruled. To nobody's surprise, Andrade wins. But I love seeing Nick Wayne continuing to be on my TV screen. I'm happy that, like we said during Redemption, it's nice that he's back from Japan. And let's keep putting Nick Wayne on television, which Tony Khan is equate that. It's like, yes, we will keep doing it because, even though this is not Ring of Honor, Nick Wade is challenging Bandito at Death Before Dishonor in a couple of weeks for that title. I'm like, ooh, this should be a good match.
yeah, if there's anybody that's willing that could probably take that belt from Bandito, it's probably Nick Wayne right now because he came back from Japan with just oozing charisma, machismo, if you will, and uh, you know he came back with such a confidence that you're just like, ooh, I want to boo this guy, and I don't know why,
I totally feel that. But yeah, so I'm excited for Bandito and Nick Wayne. But Andrade wins. He retains the AEW National Championship. Tony Schiavone comes out and lets Andrade know that at Grand Slam Mexico, he will be in a match to, fight for the number one position in the men's casino gauntlet that is going to be taking place at All In. And we would find our other participants over the course of Dynamite and Collision. So we'll talk more about that when we preview Grand Slam Mexico. But Andrade is having such a fun run right now. And he's happy, I'm happy. So we move on though from our three-way dance for the national championship, and we move into another crazy match where I know this was like advertised already, but I was just like, damn, we just putting on bangers tonight. So in a trios match, we have the Don Callis family led by Kyle Fletcher, our international champion. And of course, we got Jake Doyle and Brian Cage taking on the team of Speedball, Mike Bailey, and Bro Dito. So I'm still gonna go with Speedito or Speed or Bro Ball if we want to, but we'll workshop this trio's name. But I like Speedito the best.
yeah, definitely. I'm I'm willing to work with it. It does remind me of the swimwear, but you know, you get,
Listen, I'm
it's
just
all
putting
good.
this out
It's all
there.
good.
If we just for teehees and ha-has, if Speedball in the vlog somehow gets that sponsorship and gets these boys to rock them for a little bit, that'd be hilarious.
Right,
Um,
man.
but yeah, this was another banging match, man. I was like, dang, we just putting on bangers tonight for Dynamite because you got your two. Well, you have just watching Doyle, Cage, and Brody just go at it. I'm like, I need more big men slapping big man meaty matches on my television screen.
Yeah, I completely agree. And you know, everybody worked so well in this. Like, what was it? Bandito like press slamming Jake Doyle. I
Woo!
was
That
like,
was a thing of
that
beauty.
doesn't even that doesn't even make any sense, because but like Bandito's Mighty Mouse, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there was one part where like Speedball had thrown, I think, Fletcher out, right? Because the story here was Fletcher and Speedy, pretty
Yeah.
much. And like Speedball had like thrown out Fletcher to the floor, and like without missing a beat, uh, Speedball jumps over the ropes and hits an acai moonsault to the floor, like before the first commercial break. And I was
Yeah.
like it was all in one fluid motion. And I was like, God, he's so great. Like he's so.
Lord.
It took him 20 years to get here, but man, he is so ready, dude.
Again, everyone worked so well together. This match was a banger. Speedito picked up the victory, which was really nice to see.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Brian Cage
man.
got his shit in.
Yeah, which is nice to see. I love you, Brian Cage. We've missed you. So again, like I agree with you, my friend, that the focus is on Speedball and Fletcher going into tomorrow night, but really cool stuff. And really cool stuff for Bro Detail a little bit later when we get to Collision. So that's going to be fun as well. But moving on, we have a sit down that I did not hate. I was like, okay, this did not. I was afraid. I was like, oh Lord, it's gonna be like 20 minutes. We're gonna be here for a little bit. I was like, hey, you know what? It got the point across. This is a dream match for Cage and Cope. You know, Bucks also consider this a dream match, and we're gonna show up and show out. I was like, baller, that's all I need.
Yeah, this is great. We even got babyface Christian Cage in this, or as babyface as you're gonna get from Christian Cage.
Listen, he didn't
And
mention banging their mom, so we'll take it.
yeah, absolutely. I think they have too much respect for Papa Buck,
For reals.
But side note, just from a fan's perspective, um, listening to the ENC Pot of Awesomeness back in like 2016, 2017, on the Bucks come up on they pretty much raised the ship of the indie scene, right? So
Right.
this what I'm trying to get around to is that this match has been building for years. Like it did not surprise me that we have Edge and Christian over here in AEW. So one thing that was surprising is when they were like, "We haven't held the belts for 25 years," and it's like, "Oh boy, that is 2 generations, buddy."
There's a whole plethora of wrestling children out there, like for reals.
But luckily, we have a whole new set of tag teams. But we'll get there.
AEW made me cry a lot this week.
Same. Same.
Yes. So we'll get into that. But really great sit down. This got what we needed. It didn't overstay its welcome. A little bit of sidebar because all these companies are tangentially working together. You know, late earlier the week or this past weekend, or actually Wednesday or Thursday night, Copeland's going to be at the next MLP pay-per-view in October, Northern Rising. So I'm like, oh, so we getting him in Canada. I'm like, got it. Love that. Hell yes.
On this day,
Yep.
I'm really I'm really happy for Cope to go back up north because like he's one of the biggest stars that Canada has had in the past 20 years, as been said, and Scott D'Amore literally trained with Edge and Christian, so it makes sense.
So I'm just like, this is gonna be So again, really good stuff, fantastic. I 100% love it. So we got what we needed from this. Oh, didn't overstay its welcome. Let's continue on. Persephone, my darling, I love you so much.
That Persephone, she's something else, man. She's got it. Whatever it is, she has it. Speaking of it, the It Girl, my world. I think these two had incredible chemistry. And it wasn't that long, and it didn't need to be because Persephone is a powerhouse. So
yep,
a great first title defense, even though it was like, against the CMLL Women's World Champion. But you know what? She, everybody came out looking strong. So, hell yeah.
100%. And I also figured that Tony Khan was on the phone with CMLL, and CMLL was telling him, was just like, listen, we love this match. We're gonna have this match happen, but Persephone cannot. But Persephone's only gonna go like 50% because fast forward, it was like we need her because she's defending her women's championship on Friday in Mexico. So they're like, please don't let her get hurt. So again, we talked about it at Redemption, how this is going to be a big litmus test for Maya and how that it's step up or step out of the way. And honestly, I don't mind these short matches as long as it's against opponents. I don't want to say similar to Persephone, but that don't require a lot of moving parts, because I think that it would benefit Maya to not have to think so much. And that sounds awful to say now that those words have left my mouth. But listen, Occam's razor states that sometimes the best solution is obviously the simplest. So have so simple booking for Maya for a little bit to have her wrestle, defending this title ever so often, and we call it a day. And then, of course, the other secondary story to all of this too is that we might be getting Sheeta and Stat feuding because Sheeta tried to come in with the kendo stick and Stat took it away from her. So, by the way, Sheeta with glasses, yes. I was like, yes, I love these glasses.
Yeah, it seems like they already pulled the rug out from the Persephone and Stat thing, because like they were like, it's gonna be for the CML Women's World Championship, and CML said, nope, sorry, you didn't book that.
Like, that match is reserved for our show on Friday, but we'll let them fight anyways. I was just like, listen, Persephone versus Stat gonna be good nonetheless. So,
oh yeah,
but Maya World, Maya World is still your TBS champion. It was pretty good. I did not hate this match. Moving on. I love that Mark Davis is just like someone's drunk uncle, and I'd love him. Like, he is someone's drunk uncle at the function, and I'd love him. But yeah, he's not happy. He wants that AEW National Championship back, and he'll get to it eventually, but he wants to just fight somebody and hit somebody hard. And so he calls out Will and says, Will, me and you still got a date with Destiny, so me and you gonna fight in Mexico. And I'm just like, it's like that meme with that person blinking. I was like, all right then, I'm not gonna complain. Hell yes.
Yeah, that's a great little bit of storytelling here, because it'll pop up later on in Collision. So,
oh, absolutely. And it plays into what we've been talking about. Will's gonna have to keep a head on his swivel because he's got lots of people he's fighting right now. And he got no friends at the moment. So this is gonna be interesting. So as of this point in the show, it is just Will Ospreay versus Mark Davis in Mexico, regular match. We'll get a stipulation a little bit later when we get to Collision. But right now, this is where the floodgates were open and my tear ducts were working overtime with this one. What got me wasn't the fact that we're celebrating Willow. It's the fact that she started crying and therefore I started crying. And then they panned to the audience who started crying, which made me cry even more. Renee was trying not to cry. Like, I was a mess. I was a mess like 2 minutes into this whole entire thing. I was a mess. But I am so proud of Willow. I was just like, my baby. I love her so much. But I was a mess, Benny. I was a mess.
yeah, so was I. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not afraid to cry. When something hits the heartstrings. And this hit the heartstrings, man. Like, and honestly, this might be one of the best segments AEW has ever done, and that's with no hyperbole. Like,
no. Like, two birds with one stone. You gave Willow the time to celebrate and for her to cut a heartfelt promo and just talk to the audience who was there and the audience at home. like I said, I was crying, but then when they gave her a standing ovation, like again, my tear ducts were working in overdrive. That I was just
Mm,
like, never. It's been a long time since I've seen just like Willow doesn't have a bad bone in her body. Like, and to see her get this and just everyone unanimously loves and is behind her, like,
yeah,
my wrestling heart.
you know,
So that part was beautiful.
but like pretty much like since the first time I saw Willow on AEW Dark, um, I was like, "Who's that?" And because she just has like this natural charisma that just you just gravitate towards, right? And her getting signed on Dark, and like and just watching her rise. This is all perfect, man. This is what wrestling is all about, you know, like seeing your favorites make certain milestones and being along for the ride. And there have been very few better stories told than the rise of Willow Nightingale,
Oh,
despite the
100%.
booking. Despite
Yes,
the booking.
100%. 100%. And I believe it was another friend of mine that said it perfectly. Like, we're all in love with Willow Nightingale and just everything that she has been given and has, done in AEW too. My friend was like, you know what? The way and he was telling me this. He's like, Willow's reception during this whole entire thing is well deserved. But then he had to remind myself, it's just like the way that the audience was cheering and clapping for Willow, you would think this is like her second or third women's world title run. And then he had to remind myself, it's like the fact that she has so many people in that crowd and at home in the wrestling community behind her, and this is only her first title reign. He's like, I'm excited to see when she gets a second or a third and just up the ante of how, like, we're gonna have conversations down the line and put Willow Nightingale in contention to be like, who's like women's wrestlers who were unanimously universally loved and like how great they are. So that was the first part. And her promo that she cut about, even in the darkest times, you find the light. I'm like, I can't stop. My heart can't take
Oh
anymore. I'm
no,
gonna cry. And then perfectly timed, the foil to everything, Mercedes Monet, she comes out. She played her part beautifully. She's just like, I'm not here to ruin this celebration. You're just gonna sign this contract to make this official. And then she cut a quick minute promo. She's like, you know what the problem is, Willow? It's like you have been my kryptonite. And she admitted it too. I was like, ooh, this is gonna be a good story, y'all. This is a good story going to All In. And then Divine Dominion come out and they jump Willow with Mercedes, and then Brawling Birds come out and fend them off. So sets up another match for Grand Slam Mexico, which is going to be fun. So this did everything it needed to. We got to celebrate Willow, and without taking anything away from her, we got our contract signing and the story going into Wembley for these two, which I'm excited for.
yeah, and I real quick just want to give a kudos to the production team because this was shot so perfectly with like the streamers in the background, right? And they got a tight shot on Willow and Mercedes, so you don't see Divine Dominion coming. And man, great stuff. Great stuff.
100%. Also, I don't know if it's on AEW shop yet, but those Divine Dominion jerseys, I was like, Tony Khan, make those available because I will buy that hockey jersey immediately. Also,
Yeah,
the
I saw the Marina ones up.
the Marina basketball one is back in stock. I was like, I get paid soon, so I'm like, seriously. Oh man, Wembley's gonna be fun. This segment ruled. Loved it. Shout out. AEW was on fire with Dynamite this week, honestly. So let's keep it going though. Because this was also another match that Tony decided to be like, yeah, we'll just throw it on the card. I'm like, Yes, fight forever.
Oof. I really don't have much to say about this one except for Lucha Mox was amazing. Commander, never a bad performance. And he showed some. He's since he's been back the past couple of weeks. He's been showing some unbelievable babyface fire, and I am so here for it, man. Like, this is another guy that like you watched from like when they had the working relationship with AAA, right? And then he leaves AAA and goes signs with AEW, and like you could tell he was still getting his feet underneath him, and now he's stuck the landing, so to speak.
Oh, 100%. And yeah, what was it? 2 years ago at Final Battle too, like when he won when he won the TV title, I was just like, "Oh my god, Tony Khan, yes." I love it. I'm happy he's back. So, hopefully pending further visa issues with everyone who's coming back. Also, even though it's not visa issue related, shout out to Roosh who got married this weekend. I was like, "Yeah, Roosh." I was like, "Congratulations."
So, she got the
I
horns, huh?
love it. She did. And she rode it all the way down to she rode until the sunset. No, but I'm happy for Roosh. Happy Roosh makes me happy because then he's not fighting people backstage. So, but yeah, I don't have a lot to say. This match was a banger. Moxley retained. This was another banger. Dynamite was on fire this week. So we keep this going though. Another banger. Watching spoiler alert, we have new champs, and watching Gates of Agony try to they're like, we're bad guys, but also I'm trying not to cry as well.
I know.
They're trying not to cry. Rick, I was like, oh my gosh, these boys have worked their asses off. I'm so happy they finally got some gold in AEW.
100%. Like, what is it? Like Toa, like at the end, like Ricochet hands him the belt, and like you can see that his eyes are watering, and like he just like embraces the title, and then goes, "Oh, gotta be a tough guy,"
As soon as he got backstage, he was just a blubbering mess.
Oh,
like,
absolutely, and rightfully so. GOA has deserved titles for a long time. They outshined what was it, Big Bill and Brian Keith in that short-lived feud, and they've been off to the races ever since. Whew, man, I love the demand so much. Congrats.
And this was fun. And honestly, this was a fun run for Conglomeration of Trios champs too. Like they were defending these things regularly. I love the unification of everybody. Like the Conglomeration will always be doing something, which is really fun. But yeah, I'm excited for the demand to be Trios champs. And we didn't have to wait too long for their first defense, which was really nice too. But we'll talk about it when we get to Collision. But right now, Moxley is just unintentionally funny. I love him so much. Like these pictures, I'm just like. Plus, the way that Danny is looking at him too is hilarious.
Like Mox, when he's not trying to be funny, is hilarious, and when he's trying to be funny, is even more funny. Like,
yes. So, I was wondering what was happening because Moxley lays out this challenge. He's just like, we're gonna have like this cup for the Continental, championship. I'm gonna fight everybody. I'm like, now hold the phone. I was like, slow your roll, Jethro. I was like, what do you mean we're about to do this cup? Didn't get nothing more of it. We got a little bit more information on Collision, and then this past Sunday we got all the tea, but we won't talk about it when we get to Collision though. But Moxley, I may or may not just let this picture be another meme for us. Like honestly. Also, sidebar, because it's me and you, I'm like, Renee, you are a very lucky woman.
Yeah.
Also, Marina girl, I'm hoping that that championship you're holding for Mox, we turn it into a title for you at some point. Push Marina Shafir for a title 2026.
Yeah. I'm here for it. I don't think it's
Anyway,
going to
so
happen, but I'm here for it.
right. We will so we'll talk more about the Continental Cup a little bit when we get to Collision. But right now, Lord, this segment, woo, we went way over time, and I was just like looking at my TV. I'm like, God damn, because I watched the replay. I'm like, we had like 25 minutes, and it's past the 2 hour mark. I'm like, what chicanery, tomfoolery, shenanigans, like what we were about to get. And then by the end of it, I was just like, Dynamite, you can't be doing this to me every week, man. I was just like, there it is. You added heat to this feud going into Wembley, and I was just like, there it is. We got a direction. I don't hate it. I actually really love it.
Yeah, man. Like, I think I said this online, but like, if this was a film, this would have been an Oscar-winning exposition scene, you know, because they literally broke it down, right? Not only did uh, they bobbed and weaved some of the actual history between them, right? But they also started from what happened with Will when he returned at Revolution, and then afterwards, when they met in the trainer's room afterwards, and then like broke it down piece by piece. Like they were not holding our hands on this one. Like they were like, y'all were paying attention in the last 6 months, right? Like because here it all is.
So let's talk about that point really quickly before we continue to talk about this whole segment as a whole too. Like, because like for me personally, when it comes to AEW, like not to flex my knowledge, but like for those of us who have been following AEW since the beginning, and this is my biggest counterpoint to people when they say it's like AEW doesn't tell stories. So it's like, no, because this promo was not for the general masses. This promo was for me and for you and for the people who have been following this whole AEW since its inception as a wrestling company, because there are details in here that, not only harp on Will and Kenny's relationship in AEW. But then for those of us who have been following their careers outside of AEW too before this, I'm just like, God, AEW just knows how to make me feel good as like just a wrestling fan. I was just like, thank you for not insulting my intelligence. I feel smart. I feel seen. Like, and I know it's a TV product, so sometimes you need a bit of a recap. But what I appreciate with this is that AEW is like, yeah, if you've been following it for a little bit, you're gonna get the gist of it. But this is really for the people who've been really playing Dick Tracy out here and been following the breadcrumbs since the very beginning, like a year and a half ago when we started this whole thing.
Yeah, definitely. And I love that kind of stuff. Like I'm an adult. I don't need to be told 7 times a match what the story is, you know. Also, like, I'm trying to break this crack this code for a while, right? And I think I finally cracked it. And that like wrestling like twofold in when it comes to storytelling, right? Like there's the tell you side where like you get the promos, right? But then there's a lot of show, uh, like showing the story, right? So like sometimes through pantomime, sometimes uh, through other means, right? AEW is a lot more about the show than the tell, right? So like you have to be able to like, and it's not that hard, right? Like wrestling is a universal thing, right? You can watch, it's the same story. Like you could watch something in Japan and understand the story just as easy as if somebody was sitting there reading you a book. Sometimes, because maybe I've gone overboard, but you see what I'm saying, right? Like AEW is like a lot more about show than tell.
Oh, absolutely. So, no, this promo between Kenny and Will was awesome because Kenny is Kenny is people are like, Kenny's a heel now. I'm like, no, he's not. I still don't believe Kenny is a heel. Here, I'm not saying this is what AEW is doing, but if it turns out to be this way, I will. Well, I mean, I already love AEW, but I will love them anymore because I'm like, we'll have to see how the rest of the build goes. But I'm like, Kenny's really pushing Will to make sure that he's ready to go for Wembley, like getting him in the right headspace and making sure that he knows that this, like Will said, this is going to be a big mountain to climb. No pun intended. But I would love for this to be that Kenny is poking and prodding Will to get him to be the best version of himself. And AEW is sitting on a gold mine. They have the opportunity at Wembley to either make Will the all-time biggest babyface in AEW right now, or they can make him. I will be okay with it, and I know people are like, but to have Will kind of be a dickhead and be the heel persona that he was in New Japan for a little bit. But either way, I would love for it that Kenny is poking and prodding the whole entire time to get Will to be in that headspace. Like, no doubts, no hangups, no regrets. Just go out and just ball out.
Yeah, I think like AEW has really been the past year or two has really been adopting more
Mhm.
of a New Japan philosophy to their storytelling, right?
Yeah.
So like I don't think this story even has a heel and a baby face. I think they just have nuanced people,
Mhm.
like that are clearly flawed in in their decision making. Will you know? But who knows? I'm here to watch it all play out.
Mhm. So, yeah, there's not enough words I can say. I really love this promo and everything that it sets up to. So I'm excited. And I love what Will said too. It's just like he wants Kenny to see it coming when he pulls the trigger. I'm like, ah, this Dynamite really set the pace for like the matches that we have announced so far for All In, like your three big ones. The women's title, this title, and the tag title. I was just like, we just set it up and we're good to go. Like, we didn't wait until we got close to Wembley to start firing all cylinders. Redemption came and went, and they're like, let's go swinging out the gate. Like, so I'm excited. This is going to be good. But that was Dynamite. So now let's get into Collision, because Collision was also a banger this week. And I'm just not even going to bury the lead. We're just going to leave this up here, and I'm just going to be like, second time
Yay!
second time AEW made me cry this week. Yes. Be like, this is the second time AEW made me cry this week. I'm like, oh my god, they're actually here, and I loved it. Like, we get commentary while I'm watching the commentary does their intro, and then just no pomp, no circumstances, no announcement. They just play it, and I'm like, what is this? And then I saw Motor City Machine Guns, and that crowd was me. That crowd yelling was me. I was like, oh my god, they're actually here.
The funny thing is that like a lot of the times like when you get like new debuts or whatever, the internet just sort of goes it's like split half and half most of the time. This time it was all yay because everybody loves and respects the Motor City Machine Gun. You know, like I think it was like Lee Moriarty, right? Blue Sky was just like somebody was like, who are these people? And Lee Moriarty said, "Your favorite wrestlers' favorite wrestlers." Like that sums it up.
Yeah, I'm just like, the Motor City Machine Guns are here. I was crying, and I was still watching Collision through my tears. I'm just like, oh man, we're this. Not even just the tag team. You got two incredible singles wrestlers too. If you need to use them that way down the line as well, like, oh my gosh, man, I was just like, ugh, I can't.
Although I did find it really funny with Chris Sabin coming out looking like like a neighborhood dad that
Oh
just
my
got the
gosh,
band back
yes.
together.
I love it, man. The Motor City Machine Guns are all elite, and I'm just like, what a beautiful way to start off the show. Just genuine surprise, and I was just like, yes, thank God. I was like, if they didn't, debut in Detroit, I would be like, Tony Khan, we had a missed opportunity.
Yeah, we all knew it was inevitable, anyways, and I'm surprised that they chose where they chose the last time. But you know what? It happens, and I'm happy they're here.
100%. So after me crying for the second time this week, we get into our first match, which was a little bit of an unannounced match until like an hour before the show, thanks to the internet. But the Demand defended their AEW Trios Championships for the first time against the Rascals. So of course, Dez, Zach, and Myron. This is a fun little match. Like, it was a fun little match.
Yeah, this was a fun TV match. I love the Rascals, and I think they mix well with pretty much anybody. Like they really got a great deal with
Mm-hmm.
with the Rascals. Excuse me. It's just funny, like, and if this is what we're going to be getting out of the Demand in this trios division, sign me up.
Same. 100%. So fun little TV match. Demand retained the championships, and I'm here for all of it. So the conglomeration was backstage. They talk about, how they're disappointed they lost the trios championships, but it's made their bond stronger and they'll come back to it. But right now, they each have something to say to the other members of the conglomeration. And this is where we find out that all three of them have entered themselves into this Continental Cup that we are having leading into All In. And then also, Orange has stated that they've been challenged to the Ice Bucket Challenge, which they're gonna do live in a little bit on Collision. I was like, oh, this is gonna be fun. So Roddy, Kyle, and Orange are all entering the Continental Cup. So I'm excited. Now, speaking of which, we get a little bit more information about this on Collision, but also this is where I'm also going to talk about where we got all the information on Sunday. This cup is based off of, oh my gosh, why am I blanking on the actual cup? The F2, I believe it is. I don't know, but
Yeah, like it's probably a soccer cup, right?
or a rugby thing also that makes a lot of sense too. But essentially, what this is that this is an elimination style tournament in which there are going to be 16 participants. And the way that these matches work is that all 16 participants will be announced, and then the matches are every round is randomly drawn, or as randomly drawn as we suspend our disbelief to be. And so it goes from a round of 16 down to a round of 8 to a round of 4. And then the final two will have the match at All In to not only win the Continental Cup, but on top of all of that, they would become the AEW Continental Champion. So it is important that we talk about this because on Sunday, Tony Schiavone and Tony Khan did a little announcement for all the participants of everything that is happening. And I I just want to talk about it really quickly. So there are some. So let's go through our 16 participants in this match, in this tournament, in this cup, right? So Sunday we got the field of 16 revealed, and so the field of 16 include, of course, Jon Moxley, the current AEW Continental Champion. We also have Nigel McGuinness, Jay White, Brian Cage, Kyle O'Reilly, Katsuyori Shibata, Matt Sydal, Echi Seto, Roderick Strong, David Finlay, Jungle Jack Perry, Claudio Castagnoli, Orange Cassidy, Ace Austin, Jake Doyle, and Eddie Kingston. And then on top of that, we also were given all the matches for the first round of 16. And they're all going to be happening. Some of these matches are going to happen on Collision this Saturday and on Dynamite and Collision next week. So, again, all the matches for the entire cup are randomly drawn, and this is how everything panned out. So, in the first round of 16, we are getting Claudio Castagnoli versus Ace Austin, Jake Doyle versus Eddie Kingston, Orange Cassidy versus Matt Sydal, Jungle Jack Perry versus Jon Moxley, Jay White versus David Finlay, Brian Cage versus Echi Seto, Kyle O'Reilly versus Roderick Strong. But the match that is every true wrestling fan's wet dream, Katsuyori Shibata versus Nigel McGuinness. So I'm like, God damn, that match is I'm so here for that. I'm like,
At this stage in both of their careers, I'm happy it's a TV match. But man, oh man, I hope we get some hard hitting action.
100%. I'm like, those are some crazy first round matches. And then Kyle and Roddy gonna slap too. I'm looking forward to that one as well. Like, I'm excited. This is a fun thing. And then Tony has officially stated that the Continental Championship will have 2 tournaments a year go moving forward. The summer one is the Continental Cup, and then of course winter will be the C2, which I'm really happy that we're evolving stuff. And I love that Tony Khan is taking inspiration from other sports and applying it to AEW because it's fun. Who doesn't love a good wrestling tournament? I'm just saying, y'all. Like, who doesn't love a good tournament?
I mean, yes, but right now, there's like 4 of them going on right now.
I know, but it makes all in interesting, so I'm excited. So nonetheless, but yeah, this is gonna be good stuff. But let's keep it pushing though, because Tommaso Ciampa squashed Nick Comoroto, and yeah, I was just like, this poor baby, this poor baby got decimated.
Yeah. Hey, Nick Comoroto's found his way back to AEW, so that's pretty cool.
Yes.
That's pretty much all I got for this one.
Yeah, we'll talk about Tommaso a little bit later with this promo, but keeping it pushing though. Yes, that's all I have to say. Yes.
This is booked specifically for Mikey. Like, you know, I'm not saying I'm not here for it. I love all these guys. You know, I'm here for it, you know. But it seems like they were like,
this was specifically for me. Everybody else can move out the way. Like, no, but I'm excited about this. Hangman Page is a man of his word for right now. And he says he's not going to challenge for the world title, but all the other championships are up for grabs. And so he has this conversation with Bandito, and Brody King of how they should go after the trios championships. And so these three are going to team up and face the Demand in Mexico tomorrow for these trios championships. And Bandito has aptly named this group the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, with Brody asking, "Well, who's the ugly?" And nobody responds. So it's like, that's okay, Brody. I love you. It should be a good, exciting match. I think it's going to be fun tomorrow night for sure. I don't want the Demand to lose the titles this soon, but it should be a really fun match, though.
Yeah, match is gonna slap, but don't take the belt off the Demand, please.
Brody, I don't know if you listen to this pod, but I need you to give me an Abolish Ice like part 2 Electric Boogaloo shirt when you go back down to Mexico tomorrow night. I'm just interested to see what you're gonna do, because Brody King don't give a fuck, and I love him for it. Listen, Grand Slam Mexico, it will forever hold a special place in my heart from last year. Not knowing that Hangman could cut a full promo in Spanish, I was just like, I fucks with you, Hangman. I fucks with you. Like, I was down with you before, but now you're the homie. You invited to the quince and the baptism and the carnita tacos. Anyways, excited for Grand Slam Mexico. These three will be facing the Demand. Hazuki! Listen, if Stardom's not careful and they don't push Hazuki, girl, AEW might be calling your number soon. I'm just saying. Like, Hazuki, this crowd was so behind. Well, it's the Brawling Birds too, but this crowd really loved Hazuki. And for me, as a Stardom person, like, it makes me really happy when the crowd actually gives a shit about the Stardom girls that come through. So I was like, Detroit, shout out to Detroit. Y'all were like my favorite crowd this whole entire week across all the wrestling that I watched. Like, you gave me everything that I wanted.
Yeah, definitely a great crowd, from top to bottom. Like, man, this match ruled. Like,
yes,
I don't know what it's gonna take, but I think the moment has passed, so we might have to move on. But MIT on AEW proper. Well, I'm not gonna go there, but Hazuki, you're absolutely right. Like, if Hazuki like wanted to make the leap, like, I think she'd be perfect, and because the crowd is taken to her perfectly, and man, she can work her ass off, and the birds are like Alex Winters are like my new favorite women's wrestler. So like,
yes.
all of this is just like, this is for me,
No, 100%. And this was great stuff too, because again, it sets up a couple of things, because afterwards, Divine Dominion and all that, Willow, like, everybody's fighting, everyone's doing good. But like we talked about too, because of this, with Hazuki and the Brawling Birds winning, it sets up Athena and Hazuki at Death Before Dishonor for the title. So it should be a fun bout. I was like, hell yeah. That should be a fun bout.
Yeah, definitely. It seems I could be wrong, but it feels like it was supposed to be Sherry. But
honestly, I think so.
But Hazuki is a fine villain.
She's great. I love it. And plus, that I think it's good that she's also here too, because last year she was in the 5-star Grand Prix. This year she's not, but I love this for her though. It's fantastic stuff. Also, shout out to Julia. She's a 3-1 in the 5-star GP right now. So shout out to Julia, man. She's killing it right now in the tournament over in B Block. So,
hell yeah.
Moving on to our next thing though. Listen, I don't care if y'all say it's corny and that this is so 2000 pre-COVID days, but like, the fact that we're getting a whole show dedicated to Rebel in September is straight bitching, and I'm here for it. And then with Conglomeration Boys getting ice bucketed by Detroit native Rhino and Insane Clown Posse, which is a sentence I never thought I would say in the same breath. This was another moment where I was just like, I cried like a little baby. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so excited for this Rebel Heart show in September. God, Tony, you're amazing. Like, ugh.
Yeah, this is the most Detroit thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, respectfully, of course. I do have a soft place in my heart for the Insane Clown Posse.
Mm-hmm.
And Rhino. Who doesn't love Rhino? Like,
Seriously.
look at those thighs. Okay, look at those thighs. Jeez.
Seriously.
Don't call him a man beast for no reason.
For reals. And I have yet to find a wrestler who hasn't talked, like, a lot of wrestlers talk really high regards of Rhino too, just as a wrestler and as a person too.
But
Well,
yes.
yeah. He comes from that era, so that's a little iffy, but anyways, this was nice. I'm excited for the September benefit show. And I'm like, I know a lot of people are saying it, and I don't want to put pressure, but I'm also going to put pressure. I'm like, Tony Khan, if you don't pry Britt Baker off the mother tucking couch for this one at least, like, I swear to God, please. Anyways, moving on. We just decided to be like, hey, we just gonna throw all the types of matches at you this week because this was also another banger, in my personal opinion. And I was really shocked that the Bang Bang Gang picked up the victory. I was like, oh shit. I was like, damn, which makes a lot of sense given with what the trajectory is for where we're going with the Death Riders heading into Wembley. But I'm like, oh my God, the Bang Bang Gang actually did it. Holy crap.
Yeah. Who knew? Who knew that this lovable band of losers could win? Like,
We love these misfits, man. That, like, they have grown on me.
Oh, 100%. Like a like a mole, you know. Uh, but one thing I really loved about the aftermath of all this was because everybody gets involved and all that stuff, and then the dogs come out and like they the Death Riders get the upper hand, and then the Motor City Machine Guns show up, and all of a sudden we have a stare down between the guns and the Motor City Machine Guns. like, okay, sure, I'll take that as a first feud. Let's
No,
go.
honestly, that'd be great to not just for the Motor City Machine Guns, but for our Bang Bang Gang guns as well too. I was just like, they're just out here having matches against really cool people, and I'm just like, I kind of dig that for them.
You know, that's the thing about like Motor City, right? Is that like pretty much like anybody on this roster, you just go, yeah, that makes sense. Let's go.
Shit, Motor City has wrestled around the world, and they have proven they can work with any style of any type of wrestler. So I'm just like, yeah, I'm here for it. The answer, do I want this match? And the immediate answer is yes. Just to everything. I don't care what it is. Just Motor City's in it? Yes.
And I know may not be the most popular idea, but eventually we're gonna have to get to FTR Motor City Machine Guns. So
listen, I will
go.
cry, puke, like all everything. Like, just I will be salivating, and we'll be waiting for that whenever we get to it. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but our lovable gang of losers will pick up a win with Motor City Machine Guns for the save. A little bit of a stare down afterwards. Loved it. Tommaso's baldness, talks about everything that has transpired between him and Jericho so far. And he finds himself fighting in Mexico tomorrow night for the number 1 position in the casino gauntlet. So I was like, ooh, this is gonna be a fun one, y'all. That is all I have for this.
Yeah, great promo as always by Ciampa.
Love it from Tommaso. Ciampa's great. Stat Daddy was in action. Love to see it. I've she had fun in France. She had a good time in France. But I'm happy to see her back on my screen too.
Yeah, so am I. We gotta get something rolling here, but I'm happy to see her.
We will see what happens. I mean, she wins her tune-up match. She has a match against Persephone tomorrow in Mexico. I'm sure Ishida interference is going to be coming. So, but should be good stuff anyways. But after this though, magic. If this is a preview of what we're getting tomorrow, ooh, I'm ready.
Man, I'm sad that like this isn't being played out a little bit more because like this this was fantastic. They have incredible chemistry just on the mic. Like let's go.
And who's to say that this might not be over too? Because I know we've been saying it's going to be Takeshita, Okada, and Fletcher at Wembley, but who's to say it can't be like a four-way dance, like or something of that? Again, plans can change, but if this is a preview of tomorrow, I so ready. I am so ready. So good stuff. Kevin Knight just cuts a promo. You know, the objective is still clear, but he's going to be teaming up with two members of the Don Callis family against former champions in Mexico. And then when I saw the final card, I was just like, Kevin is just also out here having banging matches with amazing people too. Like, and we'll get into who the team he is facing in Mexico tomorrow when we preview Grand Slam Mexico. So moving on. Another banger, like
TV match of the week. TV match
seriously.
of the week.
Yes, 100% agree. Like I have nothing else to say. A happy Jay Lethal is a great Jay Lethal, and Commander is just doing amazing things. Like, what more can you ask for?
Yeah, you really couldn't ask for any more than that. Like Jay Lethal doing Jay Lethal things, and at a high pace, and Commander just being Commander. Let's go. As soon as this graphic was released, I was like, that's going to be a sleeper hit.
Mm-hmm. And I have no complaints. This was really good. This is a fun match too. And I agree with you. Best TV match of the week. So good. It's funny how usually my matches of the week always end up with some sort of luchador involved. Like, which is nice to say because then I was just like, it's not always going to be a Kenny or Osprey or MJF, like the people that are always going to put on banging matches. So it's nice for television that it's somebody else besides those guys too, which shows you how crazy talented this roster is in AEW.
Yeah, it's insane. Like this little throwaway match. Like to be honest with you, like they're still building Commander, but Jay Lethal is Jay Lethal, right? Like he's there to take pin.
Happy Jay Lethal equals great Jay Lethal to work with in the ring. Like,
absolutely.
so
I did find it funny though,
complain.
like when Jeff Jarrett was on commentary last week, and like he's like supposed to be talking crap about Jay Lethal, but Jay Lethal still has the logo on his trunks. Like
right.
Oh, it's so funny.
I got
Wrestling.
like I might still have I might have my beef with Jeff Jarrett, but at the same time it's just like, all right, Jared, you somewhat get a pass. I was like, I can't really be too mad at you. I still got beef with you with certain things, but I'll let it slide. Now, good God, just good Lord. Good Lord. I already knew this was gonna be fun. was not disappointed.
Yeah, this is great. What a great little match. Like, I wasn't a fan of them going 50-50 right now because I
That
think
was
you
a
should
little
have just
weird. Yeah.
like you don't have to give Garcia like you don't have to like squash him or whatever, but like you don't have get
60,
a little bit of
yeah,
offense and then go home. Like you should just be beating the shit
60,
out of people. But
60-40, I think would have been the better like distribution of offense. Where
yeah,
Danny,
definitely.
like you said, Danny shouldn't be getting squashed, but 50-50, I was a little I was a little perplexed. I was like, wow, this is actually really evened back and forth, which is a little weird with the story that we're telling, but whatever. um,
Yeah.
so Osprey wins, but the big thing that is what comes afterwards, because Don Callis family comes out, Mark Davis and two members of the DCF come out. Mark gets on it and basically says what we've been saying, that Will has nobody left and he wants to hurt Will. And so Will does gets to defend himself a little bit. And it is where we learn that Mark Davis versus Will Ospreay in Grand Slam Mexico in Mexico tomorrow. Not only is everyone banned from ringside, it is now a Mexico City street fight. And I'm like, oh yes, give me an IWGP type of street fight in Mexico. It's gonna be crazy. Which is interesting too, because CMLL doesn't do like crazy. They don't do street fights. They don't do tables. They don't do kendos. Like, so I'm very interested that CMLL is going to have AEW put their stuff under the ring. So it's gonna be some good. It's gonna be good times. It's gonna be good times.
Yeah, it's probably not going to be any crowd problem, but it's going to be a fun time.
I'm excited. Mexico gonna bring it tomorrow, and I'm
Oh,
excited. But
definitely.
speaking of which, let's talk about the matches that we got, because they gave us the full card for Grand Slam Mexico, and it is looking spicy. So like I said, we have a Mexico City street fight between Mark Davis and Will Ospreay. So that match is gonna be fun. Then we are getting the AEW Trios Championships. The Demand defending the title against the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly of Bandito, Hangman, and Brody King. So that's also going to be a good one. The match I'm looking forward to a lot: Kyle Fletcher versus Speedball Mike Bailey for the International Championship. In a trios bout, we are getting Willow Nightingale and the Brawling Birds versus Divine Dominion and Mercedes Monet. Chris Statlander versus Persephone. In a trios bout, it is the Don Callis family, which is Kevin Knight, Kazuchika Okada, and oh my gosh, why am I blanking on names right here? Brain Echiseto. I was like, I knew my brain had a senior moment. I was just like, So those three are taking on the team of Darby Allin, Chris Jericho, and Mystico. I'm like, oh, there's our CMLL poster boy right there. I was wondering where he was going to be on this card, because you cannot have a show in Mexico without Mystico. So I'm a little perplexed as to why that's a match that's happening, but hey, whatever. I can't complain. Then in an 8-man tag, you have the Bucks and Cajun Cope taking on the Death Riders, which is going to be insane as well. And then for the number one spot in the Casino Gauntlet, Andrade, Commander, and Tommaso Ciampa. Those three are about to just, gravity will be turned off in some capacity. So,
yeah, that one's going to be fun. The trios match I find really interesting, but this one is it's not for us, right? Like that is for Arena Mexico. You know, like it does make us go, huh? What's happening? But like then you're like, oh right, like those are all the big stars, like like.
Yeah, this is a 2.5 hour show for for Mexico, and I am looking forward to it, honestly. So tomorrow night's going to be a lot of fun, and then Collision is back on Saturday. Thank the Lord. So yeah, I'm excited. This is gonna be some good stuff. So anywho, that's it for our AEW post show. So a little bit of some programming notes. Let me just get to where I need to. There we go. So before we sign off for the evening, just a little bit of some programming note. Tomorrow, or not tomorrow, next week, we will still be having an AEW show, but due to some scheduling things, and honestly, to be totally transparent, my Tuesday being completely blown up, not in a bad way, but my Tuesday being blown up, we are going to have our Grand Slam Mexico and Collision review on Thursday next week at the same time. But on top of that, and hopefully everything works out the needs that it needs to be, we're potentially going to have some crossover next week, as both Grand Slam Mexico and the CMLL Men's Grand Prix is happening this week, and next week we will be covering all of that. So for the second year in the row, we're going to see if CMLL and our AEW shows can cross over, and we can do a big group review on Grand Slam Mexico, and well, most definitely the Men's Grand Prix as well. So get Will to see the stars of AEW, and then also to draw Benny into the cult of CMLL. So that's going to be a good time. So more information will come as the week goes on, but we have a regular scheduled week. Tomorrow night we got NXT and CMLL, and then on Friday we have TNA, and then next week is all the fun stuff. Like, I'm excited. But from Benny and I to all of you watching at home, thank you so much for tuning in. But we got to get up on out of here. So from all of us here at BC Wrestle Pod to you at home, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, stay iconic, and more importantly than anything, you always deserve to finish your story. I'll see you tomorrow for NXT and CMLL. But until then, sayonara, adios, and until next time, peace.